定刻となりましたので、第1回日本インドビジネスオンラインセミナーを開会させていただきます。
So, hi everyone, we shall start the first Japan-India business webinar. Today's seminar is titled, the main theme is building partnership in the environment, port, and logistic areas. And we are really honored to host very valuable speakers from Japan and India, both public and private sectors. And first, let me introduce the tools that we are using on Zoom. The Japanese speakers will be speaking in Japanese and Indian presenters will be speaking in English. We have simultaneous interpretation service available, so please select the interpretation and choose the language of your choice. This seminar consists of two parts. Session 1 is for environment issues and session 2 deals with the port and logistics issues. If you have any questions, please use Q&A feature on Zoom. We will make a list and then we will get back to you with a response as well as the materials, and then we will send you the link in a week from today. And in order to have a smooth operation of the seminar, we are going to ring a bell 3 minutes before the end, and also one more time, 1 minute before the end of the presentation. So first, I would like to introduce the first speaker, Mr. Anshuman Basu. He runs SCM program, which is this webinar's Indian support partner, and he'll explain the relationship between Osaka and Maharashtra state. Mr. Basu will make a brief commentary after the presentation.
Good morning to everyone here in India, and good afternoon in Japan. It's 10:31 here in Mumbai and 2:01 in Japan. So welcome to the first Japan-India Business Seminar organized by the City of Osaka, Osaka Port Corporation, and GEC, and with SCM programs here in India. Japan and India are Asia's two major democracies. They are natural partners with an economic complementarity that is potentially quite high. As we all know, Japan is fulfilling an important role in India's infrastructure development, such as building of new industrial cities through the construction of subways, dedicated freight railways, and high-speed railways using their Shinkansen technology. Japan is a mature and advanced economy, well, but with some challenges to an aging population and with a low birth rate. So Japan is also in need of a growth scenario. In developing such a scenario, Japan has chosen India to expand its relationship for business and collaboration, which is an extremely welcoming sign. What is most noteworthy at the moment is Japan's investment in Indian infrastructure through official development assistance, which we know as ODA. In fact, the number of companies entering the Indian market has grown steadily. There are more than 1,800 Japanese companies in India today. We have seen that the advance of Japanese companies into India is increasing in a wide range of areas, such as food, stationery, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, sanitary goods, toilet facilities. And in the retail sector also, we have seen recently Muji of Revin Keikaku opened its first Indian outlet in Mumbai. And we all know about the Uniqlo, the largest, one of the largest apparel stores in the world. They opened its first store in New Delhi recently in 2019, and they are expanding there. The Delhi Metro is a successful example of the transfer of Japan's operation systems, construction culture, and safety technology. Japan's support of subway systems has today spread from New Delhi to Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. The construction of the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed railway is attracting considerable interest as the new symbol of Japan-India projects. Well, now, the city of Osaka is greatly desirous of having government-to-government collaboration and also bring private companies from Japan, especially from the Kansai region, and facilitate business matchmaking sessions with Japanese and Indian companies. The mayor of Osaka, along with a high-level delegation from port and environment departments, visited Mumbai in 2017 and initiated the discussions for having more such collaborations. Since then, several visits have been made by both sides to take the discussions ahead. Mumbai, being the sister city of Osaka, was the natural choice of having Maharashtra as its initial choice to start these initiatives. Last year, in an MOU with the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board was a major step in establishing talks and activities in environmental solutions. Collaborative talks with JNPT and advice from the Honorable Chairman of JNPT to facilitate such business-to-business opportunities with entities such as Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, MIDC, was one of the hallmark decisions behind organizing this seminar. 2020 was unfortunately a year with no travels. So however, we, like everyone else, we hope that 2021 will again restart the process. And hence this event today and possibly very soon a physical face-to-face meeting later this year once the travels are open. Today, we are very fortunate to have the Honorable Chairman of JNPT, MPCB, and the CEO of MIDC from India, amongst all who will give their opening comments and presentations to guide us on how this engagement can strengthen with Japan in the port, logistics, and environment areas. Since today we are going to talk about doing business with Japan, we understand the meticulous planning which went behind this short program of today. And most importantly, we are also mindful of the importance of timekeeping. And hence, I would like to close my comments now and hand over back to Ms. Takahashi. Thank you very much.
バス様、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Basu. Now, on behalf of the organizers, I would like to invite Mr. Horii Hisashi, Director General for Energy Policy, Environment Bureau of Osaka City. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to you. My name is Horii. I'm a Director General, Environmental Bureau, and thank you for attending the first Japan-India Business Webinar organized by Osaka City Environment Bureau, Harbors Bureau, Osaka Port Corporation, as well as Global Environmental Center Foundation. And allow me to give you a few words of welcome. Republic of India and Osaka City have been actively engaged in economic exchanges. And since 1998, City of Mumbai and Osaka City have been collaborating as business partner cities. In addition, full-fledged exchange with Port of Jawaharlal Nehru Port started in 2017 with the 150th anniversary of the opening of the Port of Osaka. Last June, MOU on cooperation in the field of environment conservation and energy was signed between MPCB and Osaka City Environmental Bureau. The relationship is getting stronger as we are going to start collaborating more in the future. Today's webinar is for building partnership in the environment, port, and logistics area. We have two sections. The first section is entitled Environment and Energy Technology for Smart City, and session 2 is about opportunities in cold chain and food processing. At this moment, we can't travel between India and Japan due to the pandemic. But I hope this webinar will bring us closer by sharing information about superior technology of presenting companies as well as initiative in both countries, filling the physical gap of 6,000 kilometers between us. I would like to close my opening speech by wishing that today's webinar will be informative for all of you.
Mr. Horii, thank you very much. May I now introduce Mr. Sanjay Sethi, Chairman, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, India. He has been a guiding force for us for this collaboration and this facilitation meeting with business to business. And we have had several discussions with him. So we're very honored to have him here today. Over to you, Mr. Sethi.
Very good morning to all the participants in the first Japan-India seminar from Jawaharlal Nehru Port. Jawaharlal Nehru Port is located in Mumbai, Maharashtra, which is the biggest and probably the most attractive investment destination with robust policies, mature infrastructure, and skilled manpower. I have a small presentation. If it's okay, I'll just share the screen and I'll try and. Is it visible?
Yes, yes. You can just maybe keep it full screen, make it full screen in your side.
Yeah. Okay, in any case, I think it may not be overstated that India and Japan have an increasing association as far as trade is concerned. But within that, 23% of the FDI from Japan and India is focused on Maharashtra. So Maharashtra becomes a very, very important state. And about 21% of the exports from India to Japan are from Maharashtra. And this is the data of at least about 2 decades. I will try and just give a flavor of what the topic today to be discussed is. But we are looking at a scenario where government of India is focusing on industrialization, which is based on port linkages. And within that, not only is dedicated land being earmarked for plug and play situation, but also we are working a lot on the port connectivity, which is probably the most important part for industrialization, which is based on on port linkages. One of the topics being discussed is, I think, the smart city technologies. For all our investors from Japan, I will quickly run through this, where we have this very ambitious program of smart cities, where Government of India is developing about 100 smart cities. Across verticals, there are opportunities in, let's say, water supply systems, where not only do we have SCADA systems, but also looking at minimizing distribution losses, smart metering, etc. Urban transport, which includes integrated traffic management systems, smart parking, and green transport. There is a huge focus on energy efficiency, where reducing the energy consumption in municipal buildings, street lighting, and water supply. Some of these technologies have given very good results, and there is a lot of excitement and enthusiasm amongst the urban local bodies to use such technologies. Apart from that, urban planning, where a lot of focus on transit-oriented development, especially for cities like Mumbai, which are space constrained, automated building permission systems. Similarly, on the environment, ambient air quality, water quality, etc., we have started using the latest technologies across cities, across organizations, and solid waste management, where GPS enabled monitoring of waste bins, clearances, movement of waste collection vehicles, etc., is being done, is being planned, and there is a huge opportunity there for the kind of technologies that are being used in Japan. I will skip through this. DMIC is the Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, where JICA, in that sense, Japan has been associated. And this is basically from the port point of view, there's also a dedicated freight corridor, which connects the Delhi or the National Capital Region to JNPT. And there's another port called Dighi Port, which is coming up. So this basically will help connect all these industrial nodes from Delhi up to JNPT. Also, ultimately, save time and cost for all the transportation which is port related. The Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor passes through 3 or 4 states, but ultimately it is up till the port, that is JNPT. So there is also a proposal to develop these new industrial cities as smart cities, which are on this route. The second part I think we are discussing today is about food processing and cold chain. In the proximity of JN port, we have a huge scope for this because a lot of product-based clusters are around the port in the state of Maharashtra. We have a lot of horticulture products, including fruits like mangoes and grapes and cashews, which are around this area. There is a lot of agri-business, which includes fruits processing, pulses processing, etc. And there are a lot of institutions which are also associated with this. So this also gives a huge opportunity around the port for setting up food processing and cold chain facilities. About $230 billion is the kind of market size of cold chain logistics and storage. We have been trying to see that we facilitate the development of such cold chain facilities around the port. And there is a very, very good response where not only is the land being made available by the port, but we also are looking at value addition in terms of grading, sorting, and also packaging. So right now, the kind of wastage that happens, which is roughly 21%, and it takes about 4 to 15 days from manufacturing to the store. The target is to reduce this by at least 50%. This just is a quick listing of the kind of areas of cooperation we could be looking at. Of course, Industry 4.0 is something that everybody is talking about, and artificial intelligence or 3D printing could be used in almost a lot of areas that we are looking at today. We are also talking about electronic systems design and manufacturing, electrical vehicles, integrated data center parks, etc. So I'll now come to the initiatives which are taken by the Indian port sector on sustainable development, where all these opportunities are there for not just Japan, but all the technologies around the world to use this. We have come up with a maritime India vision. In fact, on the 2nd of March, Honorable Prime Minister would be unveiling it. We are having this maritime summit from 2nd to 4th of March. 5 or 6 main things that are being talked about is that we are going to increase the share of our renewable energy to more than 60%, and this is up to 2030. We are talking about all the multi-clean fuels for the vehicles in the port ecosystem, the shore-to-ship electricity to vessels, electrification program for material handling, establishing the LNG bunkering station, efficiency enhancement through ship tracking and smart lighting, dust management practices, sewage treatment plants, whereby these are areas which have been neglected, where sewage and solid waste still are not treated at most of the ports in the most scientific manner. Similarly, water conservation techniques, green belt covers, and the green shipping of vessels as per the IMO norms. The very interesting area of dredging also requires us to adopt a lot of sustainable disposable mechanisms whereby it can be used as we say, from waste to wealth. Within our own port, JN port, we have come up with a lot of initiatives which include an interterminal tractor facility, a parking plaza, solid waste management project, multi-purpose utility launch, a lot of solar use, ERTGCs, LED, oil spill response facility, and ambient air quality monitoring. Sustainability, to my mind, the technologies that we adopt require the balancing of sometimes conflicting needs of economy, equity, and environment. I hope this seminar will bring out the requirement to balance the needs so that the conflict amongst these needs is minimized and more practical solutions are propagated. I wish all the best to the organizers and all the participants, and JN Port will be very happy to engage and collaborate with our Japanese friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sethi. I mean, you have been a great guiding force as well as great support for us to, organize such business-to-business programs, and we wish to do more of such things in future as soon as the the COVID restrictions of travel goes off. And thank you very much for your time. And we'll look forward to more collaboration and more inputs from your side in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May I now introduce Mr. Sudhir Shrivastava, Chairman, Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. We just last year, the Osaka City signed a, Environment Bureau signed a MOU with NPCB for a great start for a lot of collaborative projects as well as technical guidance from both sides, and we wish to identify areas of collaboration with NPCB. It is our pleasure now to invite the Honorable Chairman, Mr. Sudhir Shrivastava. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Basu. Thank you all the distinguished participants. Good morning to people in India and good afternoon to people in Japan. I'm very happy to be participating in this first Indo-Japanese Business Seminar 2021. We are meeting actually virtually, and that is in the background of this very unprecedented pandemic that the entire world is afflicted with. Of course, we are all aware that this is not the first zoonotic disease of the recent past. We had H1N1, we had Ebola, and I think that is perhaps reflecting the fact that we have been encroaching and disrupting the natural ecosystems. Our over-dependence on fossil fuels and accumulation of greenhouse gases is also causing global climatic patterns to shift in very unpredictable manner. And so even as we speak of smart cities, we urgently need to deal with both local and global environmental issues. Mr. Basu and Mr. Sethi both have really touched upon the very close relationships that Japan and India have both in the strategic, in the cultural, in the economic sphere. Just to reiterate, Japan happens to be the fourth largest investment partner and the largest ODA financier as far as our country is concerned. Of course, there are a host of Japanese companies which are household names in our country. And to name just a few, Suzuki, Toyota, Toshiba, Mitsubishi, Panasonic, they are all household names. And there are some specialized companies which work in very specialist areas such as Horii or Shimatsu. Maharashtra happens to be a very prominent industrial state with an economy of size of about 430 billion. And it's been a natural partner for Japanese businesses. So Maharashtra has almost 20% of the business establishments and almost 25% of the Japanese companies that operate in India. Now, as we discuss environmental issues and scope for collaboration therein, the first thing that comes to my mind is municipal solid waste. That's a very serious problem that we are all faced with. A city like Mumbai generates almost 8,000 tons of solid waste every day. Maharashtra does about 22,000 tons of solid waste every day. And the country as a whole perhaps is doing 10 times as much. And one of the very successful solutions that has been adopted in Japan and in parts of Europe is waste to energy conversion or mass burning. I have seen this plant in Jabalpur, which is doing 300 tons per day, which is based on the technology of Hitachi and Joseon. And I think it is one of the most successful projects that we have in this area. And so I think this is one area where very fruitful and very extensive collaboration can happen between the two countries, especially the state of Maharashtra and Japanese companies. Sewage treatment is again a very, very big issue. For a city like Mumbai itself generates 2,000 million liters of sewage every day. Now, this is one area where there has been some collaboration. And very recently, loan agreement has been signed between JICA and Government of India and Government of Maharashtra for the rejuvenation of Nag River in Nagpur. And this is almost about 1,890 crores. A similar project is already underway in Pune, and again with the help of Japanese official development assistance to the tune of 19 billion yen. Now, as far as we in Maharashtra, for example, mandate that any residential or commercial development which is more than 20,000 square meters should have their own sewage treatment facilities, and they should recycle part of the water. This is one area where there is massive scope, and I'm very happy to note that very recently I have heard about the collaboration between HECS Private Limited and Daiki Access Company, where they have launched a mass-produced packaged sewage treatment plant, which has a capacity of between 1 cubic meter to 50 cubic meter, and which also promises to have very low OPEX. So this is the type of product which I think would be very helpful, could be very popular, and help us solve a pressing problem. There are certain other areas as far as effluent treatment is concerned, where we really are looking for appropriate technology. So Maharashtra and India both have a very large textile sector. And Maharashtra, of course, is the home for India's pharmaceutical, dyestuff, chemicals, paints, pigments, and specialty chemicals industry. And this is one area where the growth is presently being impacted very strongly because of stringent effluent norms. We have attempted zero liquid discharge systems. And unfortunately, while these are good solutions as far as environment is concerned, they add up significantly to the costs. For example, a ZLD system for textile dyeing plants in Tirupur, it is noted that it costs as much as 12% of the cost of the finished dyed fabric. So this is one area where we look forward to some kinds of collaboration and technical guidance coming from Japanese companies. Then some areas of our country are already water stressed, and therefore recovery and reuse of water is going to be a very big upcoming business. And the use of various membrane technologies such as ultrafiltration or reverse osmosis, that is going to be required on a massive scale. Japanese companies and Japanese businesses have very good expertise in this area, and this is again one area where we could collaborate upon. I would just move to air pollution, and I just want to mention that we already have a very good monitoring program, and we want to scale it up very extensively. And this is another area where we can work very closely with Japanese companies, Japanese instruments suppliers. We have, of course, very good collaboration as far as transportation is concerned. It has been already been mentioned that Japanese assistance has been available for the DMIC Delhi Mumbai in the dedicated freight corridor, and of course even the metro networks. JICA is also helping us with the MT Mumbai Trans Harbour link, which is a very important connector. Now, while JICA has been extremely helpful with giving long-term finance, which enables the project proponents to take a long-term view and also perhaps enables a gradual increase in the tariffs and user charges. So I would, at this point of time, just finally mention that there is a wonderful scope for collaboration between Japanese businesses and our country. And I really hope forward to, I look forward to seeing more and more interaction. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Shrivastava. We look forward to your support and guidance in our future discussions. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。これより環境分野による第
Thank you
一
very much. Now, the part one, environment and energy technology for smart city is going to start. So this is the agenda program on the screen. First, we would like to invite representative from one of the organizers, Ms. Akiko Hiraoka, Manager for International Cooperation, Environment Bureau, Osaka City, a presentation about Osaka City's activities on environment and energy. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. I'm Hiraoka, Manager for International Cooperation Environment Bureau, Osaka City. I am going to explain Osaka City's activities on environment and energy towards smart city. First of all, just to give you a bit of background about our city, Osaka City is located in the center location of Japan's geography within Osaka Prefecture. In Osaka Prefecture, there are 43 municipalities, including Osaka City, with a resident of 8.82 million people, which is the second largest metropolitan area in Japan. In Osaka City, we have 225 square kilometers, which is only 0.1% of the area of Japan, and we have 2.73 million people living there. Osaka and Mumbai have been business partner cities since 1998. During the rapid economic growth period up until early 1970s, Osaka has a history of suffering from air pollution and other environmental pollutions. But environmental regulations and laws were set up, and corporations responded, and technologies advanced, and the situation is much better now. For example, as you can see, this is the water quality. If you look at the BOD trend, BOD used to be very high, but with the laws enacted, regulations were enforced on effluents, and with the sewage system developed, BOD is now lower, and the water quality is better now. But our surrounding situations is getting complicated. To achieve a sustainable society, our city and other key cities' roles are becoming more and more important. And also, we must improve the economy, society, environment in totality with partnership with citizens and businesses and others to achieve SDG. we need plans to do that. So based on the SDGs concept, in 2019, Osaka has reviewed its city plans drastically and established a new environmental basic plan. So what it says is that the slogan is participation and collaboration of all entities, and 3 pillars, including establishing a low carbon society, establishing a sound material cycle society, and maintaining a comfortable urban environment. So this is how we want to become an environmentally advanced city that contributes to SDGs. So we have these 5 initiatives now, and I'm going to give you some examples of actual projects that we have done. Now, this is one initiative conducted to aim for low carbon society. To achieve a low carbon society, we must reduce CO2. For that, we have to increase the share of renewable energy. One of the representative renewable energies is, of course, solar power. We lend our roof space free of charge to businesses that do solar power generation on a fee-paying basis. So basically, these businesses can put the solar panels there and then sell the power that they generated to create revenue. So this is how we promote the introduction of renewable energy without spending costs. And other untapped energy sources, as you can see in the photo on the right-hand side. This is a photo from a sewage plant. Digested gas is used for power generation. This is an example of a Tsumori sewage treatment plant. Effective generation amount is 35,000 kilowatt hour per day, which covers 35% of the power usage of the plant. And at other sewage plants, we have fixed tariff system for renewable energy to promote digested gas generation. So 100% of such gases are effectively used. Now, these are our waste incineration or treatment facilities. We have 7 incineration plants. And then when we incinerate garbage or waste, heat is produced and we use the heat to generate power. And also other surplus heat is used to heat up nearby swimming pools. The generated amount in 2018 was approximately 470 million kilowatt per hour. And this is equivalent of annual power consumption demand by 152,000 households. So for biomass generation technologies, one of the Japanese companies today is going to explain in detail later. Next, some of our initiatives to employ new energy sources. To promote the use of hydrogen energy, Osaka City works with businesses. To achieve a hydrogen-based society is a good idea to reduce greenhouse gases and also to solve other social problems and challenges. In Osaka, we have a lot of SMEs that are diverse and with different technical capabilities. So using this as our advantage, we have created a strategic new hydrogen project and inviting SMEs to join. One of the Japanese companies today is going to explain in detail the hydrogen technology too. Next is the transportation system. This is our garbage collection system as an example. So household garbages and waste are collected by trucks and then carried to incinerating facilities. So we plan the routes efficiently based on volume and frequency. We have 650 collection trucks with GPS to manage the route. By analyzing the information, we optimize the route. As a result, the delay of collection, miscollection were minimized, which often led to illegal dumping. Excuse me. Okay, so this is about establishing a low carbon society. By efficient routing of the truck, we are able to minimize delay or miscollection of the garbage. And this, of course, contributes to low carbon society and also citizen services. Next is for cyclical society. In 2019, in January, prefecture and the city worked together to establish Osaka Declaration for Zero Plastic Waste. And in June the same year, G20 Osaka Summit was held and Osaka Blue Ocean Vision was adopted. We aim to eliminate new plastic waste in the ocean by 2050, which is the Osaka Blue Ocean Vision, and we have various initiatives to support this. By promoting and disseminating information about our initiative, we would like to contribute to reducing plastic garbage. Next is the plastic reduction. This is a little bit complicated. We have PET bottles and other recycled materials. We have to reduce it and then efficiently recycle them. So this explains how we do it. So we were collecting all the recyclable garbages, but now we have a different system to separate the different recycled materials with which communities can sell those materials and make revenue. And this is for maintaining a comfortable urban environment. This is basically greening various infrastructure as an example. Also, we try to contribute to global environment. We have signed MOU on establishing low carbon society with Ho Chi Minh City and Quezon City and with Maharashtra State. And we work with citizens to conduct cleanup activities and also water events and so on. And we have plant tours and also other school events at primary schools. So this has been an overview of what we do. And by doing this, we want to become an advanced environmental city. And in 2050, Osaka Kansai Expo is going to be held in Umeshima region. We are going to further promote the use of ICT and AI to improve citizen service and then try to establish a smart city. We have an experience of tackling environmental challenges and improving. So we would like to continue to cooperate with Indian partners to achieve SDGs together. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。続きまして、バイオマス発
Thank
電
you
施
very
設
much. Now I would like to invite Mr. Kawamoto Masaya from TAKUMA Company Limited. He is the Assistant Manager of Section 2, International Department, International Division. He's going to talk about the contribution to a low carbon society by biomass power plant.
Good morning. Yeah, namaste. My name is Masaya Kawamoto, and I am honored to have this precious opportunity today. And I will give a presentation in Japanese, so I will speak in Japanese from now on.
So thank you very much once again for this precious occasion. My name is Kawamoto from the International Department of TAKUMA Company Limited. Today, I'll talk about the contribution to low carbon society by biomass power plant. First, please allow me to introduce TAKUMA to you, and then I'll talk about the utilization of energy from biomass and waste in this order. So let's start from the introduction of our company. TAKUMA Company Limited is headquartered in Amagasaki City. It is right next to Osaka City. And our company was established in 1938. We celebrate our 83rd year this year. The annual sales is about 130 billion Japanese yen with about 3,800 employees. Our company mainly focuses on business in the environment and energy fields. Specifically, we provide EPC as well as O&M services for energy plant, general and industrial waste processing plants, and water treatment plants. Next, I will explain the role of biomass against the climate changes. As you know, unusual weather caused by the climate change or global warming has been impacting the ecosystem and our society in general. We have had many natural disasters such as heavy rain and typhoons in Japan in recent years. In India, heavy rain caused landslide and damaged roads. Central India had a large-scale disaster because of torrential rain in September 2019. And earlier this month, flash flood hit Uttarakhand in northern India. One reason for these abnormal weather conditions is the global warming triggered by greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide. Such calamities led to the Paris Agreement adopted at the United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP21, in Paris in 2015. The agreement provides the international framework to reduce the greenhouse gases. Under the agreement, the parties are to limit the global warming to well below 2 degrees compared to the pre-industrial levels, and they aim to achieve a carbon-neutral society by the middle of the century. In order to achieve this goal, both Japan and India have aggressive targets to reduce greenhouse gas. One of the energy sources that attract a lot of attention today is biomass energy. Biomass emits carbon dioxide when it is burned, but it absorbs CO2 with photosynthesis during the growth period. It is carbon neutral and contributes to the low carbon society. Unlike other natural resources like solar and wind, which fluctuate because of the weather conditions, biomass is a stable power generation source as long as the fuel is secured. Today, I'll talk about biomass power plant, which uses mainly wood and waste energy plant, which generates energy by burning wastes. So first, I'll talk about biomass power plant. Biomass fuels come in different shapes. For example, wood chips and bark, which are usually considered as waste, or PKS, or palm kernel shell, which is actually imported to Japan. And to have stable incineration of various biomass fuels to generate energy, it is important to choose the best combustion model that fits the biomass of your choice. TAKUMA offers 4 types of combustion models, and we can meet a wide range of requirements for utilization of various biomass by providing the optimal combustion model. We have already delivered more than 640 units of biomass boilers and power plants in and outside of Japan. The picture on the left is a facility in Thailand which uses bagasse as fuel. Bagasse is residue after the extraction of sugarcane. In this case, bagasse from the neighboring sugar processing plant is used to generate steam and energy. The one on the right is in Japan using wood biomass. Japan now promotes the introduction of biomass power plants to realize a low-carbon society, and TAKUMA is playing a key role. This example is about creating new values utilizing byproduct of combustion, carbon dioxide, in addition to the heat and energy generated from biomass. In this facility, biomass fuels is incinerated to generate heat and electricity for growing vegetable in the greenhouse. In addition, CO2 from the incineration is supplied to promote growth of the vegetables. As a result, stable supply of safe and delicious vegetables has become possible all year round. Expectation is mounting that biomass plants can not only provide electricity and heat, but also help create diverse values that can promote local industries and build sustainable communities. Now I'll talk about waste-to-energy plant. 42 million tons of waste is generated annually in Japan, and 80% are incinerated. There are two reasons for incinerations. First, for sanitation. Back in those days in Japan, when waste was not incinerated, decomposed waste sometimes led to infectious disease epidemics. Therefore, incineration is an effective way of prevention. The second reason is to reduce the amount of landfill disposal. The waste volume can be 1/10 when it is incinerated. The waste treatment plants play an important role as part of the social infrastructure by protecting the environment. In these days, they also contribute to the community as a power generator by utilizing the thermal energy from incineration. Here's a brief history of waste treatment plant business of TAKUMA. We introduced the first continuous waste incineration plant in Osaka in 1963. Since then, we have delivered many waste treatment plants and facilities in and outside of Japan for 60 years, and the largest waste-to-energy plant in Japan was implemented in Tokyo in 1998. We completed plants in the US, Taiwan, China, and Britain as well. Next, this is our achievements. We have delivered more than 360 plants internationally, and we have the top-class achievements in Japan. The left is Suminoi plant in Osaka. The plant equipment will be renewed by utilizing existing waste-to-energy plant building, and this project will be a 20-year contract of DBO. The one on the right was completed in Beijing, China. In China, they have higher ratio of kitchen waste, and we have achieved and maintained stable treatment of such low calorific waste. Waste-to-energy plants are unique because they can continue power generation even in disasters as long as there's supply of waste. By taking advantage of this feature, some trials have started to use power from waste-to-energy plants to continue providing power to those facilities that serve basic function in the event of a disaster. And let me introduce one of the recent examples. Imabari City Clean Center has been in operation since 2018. This facility is a waste-to-energy plant, but because of its resilience in disaster, it is also designated as a local evacuation center, which is actually very unique in Japan. People in the community can come here to evacuate in the event of a disaster. So, what is so unique about this Imabari Clean Center? It is their evacuation function. The waste-to-energy plant continues to treat waste even in a disaster so that the community can maintain its sanitation. Therefore, this facility is reinforced so much so that it can withstand a large earthquake. It can also continue its operation without supply of water and electricity from outside. Because of such features, the plant can provide electricity and water to the evacuation space within, and evacuees can feel safe even there's power outage or no water supply in the community. This is how we contribute to building resilient communities by providing additional values in case of an evacuation, in this case, an evacuation facility to the waste-to-energy plants. Biomass power plants and waste-to-energy plant can help you achieve the low-carbon society with stable supply of renewable energy, and they also help you build a sustainable society. TAKUMA hopes to go more international and contribute to realizing SDGs in the world. We sincerely hope that we can work with the people in India to solve social issues together with you. Please feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more. I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kawamoto. It was a beautiful presentation. I think we need more and more of such technology here in Mumbai, here in Maharashtra. I mean, of course, all over India, but we would like to welcome you here in Maharashtra soon as the pandemic is over. So we would definitely like you and your company to visit here and see the opportunities that we have to collaborate. Thank you very much once again for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in Maharashtra soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
川本様、どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Kawamoto.
バス様、これまでの2つのご講演について何かコメント等ございますでしょうか。
Any comments about the two presentations, Mas-san?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, first of all, I would like to thank Ms. Hiraoka for her presentation earlier. We would certainly like that Ms. Hiraoka-san comes to Maharashtra soon and bring all those such developed and technologically advanced companies here from Japan. And we would certainly like to explore collaboration with such companies. So thank you very much once again, Hiraoka-san, and we look forward to seeing you here in Mumbai. And like I also said, we would also like to welcome TAKUMA company here in India.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
では3つ目の講演。
Okay, now moving on to the third presentation, the latest trends in CO2-free hydrogen production technology and the development of hydrogen utilization by Hitachi Zosen Corporation. Mr. Adachi Shinichi, Manager Industrial Equipment Sales Department Group, and Mr. Tsukamoto Koichi, Senior Manager Industrial Equipment Sales Department. I'm Tsukamoto of Hitachi Zosen. My colleague Adachi is sitting next to me in the room, but basically I will run the presentation. So it's a short presentation, but thank you very much for giving us this valuable opportunity. Now let me share my screen. Okay, so it's a short presentation today. I'm going to explain. Let us introduce to you our latest trends in CO2-free hydrogen production technology and development of hydrogen utilization. First, just a brief background of our company, Hitachi Zosen. Well, company name, of course, is Hitachi Zosen. We have two headquarters in Osaka and Tokyo. In other prefectures, we have premises. In India, including India, we have 13 premises overseas, and then we established the India local entity. Capital is approximately 45.4 billion. Revenue consolidated basis is about 402 billion yen, and the number of employees is about 10,700. These are examples of our products. Well, Zosen means shipbuilding. So as the name suggests, we used to be mainly a shipbuilding yard. But currently, now we are more engaged in energy and environment-related business. What you can see here are just some examples of our main products. Especially if we have energy from waste plant, and we have received an order in India to build a plant in India. And the more recent one includes the hydrogen generation system and energy from waste plant for these products. With the Indian engineering partner, we are proposing a project to Maldives government at the moment. These are the projects of our department, electrolysis sales group. These are our main products in our department, hydrogen generation system, and all other products here utilize electrolysis technology. From here on, this is the main topic, CO2-free technology, the energy solution. First of all, now this is the energy situation. This slide, you can see some illustrations here. What it shows is that, so there's demand and the supply of electric power and showing the balance between the two. The top half is the conventional system based on fossil fuel and the generation. So basically with the fossil fuel, you can generate as much as you need when you need it. So in terms of demand and supply balance, it's an efficient system. On the other hand, if you go down the slide, and these are becoming more trendy these days using wind power, solar power, namely renewable energies. And if you look at the demand supply balance here, what happens is that because these are tapping into nature, natural energy, the generated power depends on the climate, weather, then the daytime, length, season, and so on. So we cannot really expect to gain enough energy when we need it. Sometimes excess energy is generated, and other times we don't have enough energy generated. So the balance is not so well. So when excess generation is made, there will be surplus energy always. That's why we need energy storage technology. And one of such energy storage technologies is the P2G, power to gas technology, which means that the electric power is converted to things like hydrogen, which we are going to explain now, or electricity can be converted to other gases.
So
there are different ways of generating hydrogen, and they have different implications. So when you say hydrogen, there are different categories of hydrogen. So let me explain that first. First, if you look at the picture at the bottom, these are made by natural gas, LPG, and naphtha. Basically, fossil fuels are reformed to generate hydrogen. In this process, because we use fossil fuels as raw materials, CO2 will be emitted into the air. As a result, the hydrogen generated through this system is called gray hydrogen. Now, if you look at the picture in the middle, well, the hydrogen is created by gas reforming. However, CO2 is separated and fixed and stored underground. So that's a different process from the one before, in that CO2 is fixed and captured. The hydrogen that's generated through this system is called blue hydrogen. And now, finally, if you go to the top pictures, this is the renewable energy, and then conduct water electrolysis to make hydrogen. And such hydrogen is called green hydrogen, and that really lives up to the hydrogen's name as clean energy. Now, there are several hydrogen production methods, including ones that are still in R&D stage. Currently, gas reforming is done, and also water electrolysis system. These are the two main methods to make hydrogen. Currently, most of the hydrogen is made through the gas reforming system. So basically, it utilizes fossil fuel and then reform the gas to make hydrogen. This is an economically very advantageous way to make hydrogen, but as I said before, CO2 will be produced during the process, and that's the challenge of this system. With this background, recently, we are offering water electrolysis solution to make hydrogen, and it's attracting a lot of attention. Now, water electrolysis system can be divided into high solid molecule and the alkaline system. There are two main different ways to do it. And alkaline water electrolysis basically means that alkaline solution is electronically broken down to make hydrogen. And then proton exchange, a PM type, is pure water is done electrolysis and to make hydrogen. So it's more efficient, and higher purity hydrogen can be made by the latter method. In Hitachi Zosen, the system we provide is the latter one, which is the proton exchange membrane system. Now, quickly, let us explain water electrolysis H2 generator The product name is HydroSpring, the product name of this hydrogen generator. These 6 points listed here. These are the main characteristics of HydroSpring. First, it's the on-site hydrogen generation system. And the second, requires only water and electric power. And 3, no chemical is required. So no need of periodical waste liquid or pipe cleaning and so on. So it's a very clean system, easy to maintain. 4, high-grade hydrogen can be produced by this system. As I said, compared with the alkaline liquid system, this system can produce higher purity hydrogen. The maximum purity we can provide through this system by this system is 99.999%, and the dew point down to minus 70 degrees. 5, easy and safe operation. Our system comes with remote monitoring system. The remote monitoring system can be installed. So it can be operated on a remote basis, either with operator or without an operator. And also number 6, available to follow with input power fluctuations in the range of 0 to 100%. So that makes it even more suitable to combine with renewable energy or natural energy, which has lots of fluctuations. This is the principle of PM type water electrolysis hydrogen generator. Now, this is a very simplistic illustration. The red part in the middle is the separator to separate the gases. And that's the PEM, proton exchange membrane. On the surface of the membrane, there are catalysts. From the anode the purity water comes, and then there's chemical reaction, and then water, iron, and hydrogen will be separated, and O2 will be discharged, and then hydrogen will move to the cathode part, and then becomes hydrogen. So this is the core part and the basic principle of this system. And this is the system's overall system flow. The water supply goes through water purifying system and goes into the pure water tank. Then the water is provided to the electrolyzer. And then in the electrolyzer, electrolysis is made. And then H2 goes to the minus side and O2 goes to the plus side. For hydrogen, then dew point will be reduced and also purity will be increased by post-process, then output from the system. These are the basic technical specification of a product HydroSpring. From minimum to maximum 200 normal cubic power. So this is different sizes of the system depending on different capacity required. Hydrogen generation pressure is 0.8 megapascal. So you don't need special permit or special knowledge to handle extremely high pressure gas. Operations easy. And at 200 normal cubic meters per hour generation system is basically called a megawatt class capacity. And this is one of the largest capacity water electrolysis system in Japan. The background of the development is we are mindful that there will be a hydrogen-based society, and also we have to decarbonize our society. And that was the aim of the development. And these are just actual examples of how the systems are used. So 200 normal large facility is delivered to Yamanashi Prefecture. Now we are going to do the demonstration of the system from now. Lastly, to achieve sustainable energy society, we in Hitachi Zosen have two initiatives to decarbonize our society. First, the illustration at the top, as I have been explaining, renewable energy, surplus power is produced. Now, water electrolysis system can turn it into hydrogen, and that can be stored in FCV, fuel cell. Now, it can be used for various applications. This is our way to contribute to hydrogen energy society. And at the bottom, there are existing plants and power plants and factories and that generate CO2, and the CO2 is captured. And with the hydrogen generation system, by making reaction between hydrogen and CO2 by methane combustion system, as a result, CO2 can be converted into methane, and the methane can be reused as energy. So there's a cyclical loop established here. And this is what we call carbon circulation. So hydrogen generator can contribute to achieving carbon circulation. So we in Hitachi Zosen, by developing these products, we will continue to proactively respond to the needs of protecting and keeping our global natural environment, not just in Japan, but with partners from India. We wish to develop a great partnership. That's all from us. Thank you very much.
塚本様、どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you, Mr. Tsukamoto.
そしての登壇者様は
Allow me to introduce the next speaker. Mr. Basu is going to introduce the speaker, actually. So if Mr. Basu, if you can introduce the next speaker.
Sure. And first of all, thank you, Mr. Adachi, and thank you, Mr. Tsukamoto. Our next speaker is Dr. V.M. Modghare. He is the Joint Director, Air Pollution Control in Maharashtra State for Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. And we would like to welcome him. In fact, he has been very instrumental in creating this MOU, which the Osaka city signed with NPCB last year. In fact, I know a lot of NPCB people, a lot of people from Osaka city are very eagerly waiting to meet you, sir. So over to you. In fact, as soon as the lockdown opens up, I think they are going to visit India and meet you for further discussions. But meanwhile, over to you for your presentation. So your mic is on mute.
Now I am audible?
Yes.
It's a good morning in India and good afternoon in Japan. Mr. Horii, or Honorable Chairman, Sir, Sudhir Shrivastava, Mr. Anshuman Basu, Akiko, distinguished participants, and I am very happy to be a part of you for this opening session of first Indo-Japan Business Seminar of 2021. In 2019, we have signed agreement MOU with Osaka city on the environmental concern. I will briefly present about the activities as desired from the Japanese counterpart, activities undertaken by Maharashtra State Pollution Control Board, which is one of the frontal board in India for environmental conservation. Next. This is the overall picture of state of Maharashtra. Population is around 11 crore, and these are the industrial estates and districts of Maharashtra state. Nearly 33 districts are there, and all the industrial population industries are in the state, spread all over in Maharashtra state, and also concentrated on a coastal belt of Maharashtra next to the Arabian Sea. Next. See, we have celebrated the golden jubilee year of Maharashtra Pollution Control Board on 7th September this year, and which was established on 7th September 1970. The also, as per the Government of India Act, Air Act was implemented in 1981, and we have adopted as a whole of state in 1996. Next. See, major functions of the board is to give the permit to the industries for setting up of the industry and operation of the industry under Water Act and under Air Act. Also, the authorization under hazardous waste rules 2016, biomedical waste rules to the hospitals, and municipal solid waste rules to the municipal corporations and councils, e-waste rules to the electronic waste generator, and plastic rules 2016. Our main function is the enforcement and compliance of air emission, liquid effluent discharge standard through proper vigilance, and taking the actions including direction and bank guarantees in case of non-compliance. The common waste facilities is to promote the common infrastructure like waste management, like common effluent treatment plant, common hazardous waste treatment and disposal facilities, common biomedical waste treatment and disposal facility, and facility for plastic waste and e-waste. Another function is the environmental monitoring and surveillance to check the water quality and ambient air quality monitoring network. Also, noise levels of various cities and industries. Also disseminate public information, awareness and information dissemination to the public. Next. So, legislations, rules and notifications. As a Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, we are implementing Water Act 1974, Air Act 1981, Environment Protection Act 1986, Hazardous Waste Rules 2016, Biomedical Waste Rule 2016, Solid Waste Management Rules 2016, Construction Demolition Waste 2016, Plastic Waste 2016, E-Waste Rule 2016, Batteries Rules 2010, Manufacturer, Storage and Import of Hazardous Chemicals Rule 1989, and Noise Rules 2000. The other rules are EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment Notification, Coastal Regulation Zone, Public Liability Insurance Act, Right to Information Act, National Green Tribunal Act 2010, and other notification in eco-sensitive areas. So in air, what we are doing, as Honorable Chairman has also pointed out, we are the highest number of air monitoring network in whole of India, 85 locations as a manual monitoring stations, and 23 locations in a continuous air quality monitoring that is 24/7. And we are monitoring 8 parameters and 4 weather parameters. This is a new area as Government of India has declared 122 cities as a polluted city, and of which Maharashtra has 18 non-attainment cities with respect to control of particulate matter concentration, which is exceeding the norms of 60 milligram per meter cube. And we are happy to note that all the 18 action plans of major cities are approved by Government of India, 3-member team of Central Pollution Control Board. Next. So, as the Government of India's mandate is to reduce the dust concentration by 30%, up to 30% by 2024, the Government of India has launched National Clean Air Program for improvement of air quality in urban conglomerate. We're also monitoring on a continuous basis, noise monitoring during the biggest festival of Maharashtra and India, Deepavali, which is the festival of light, and Ganesh festival, Lord Ganesha, at 158 locations and 132 locations to see the noise levels during the festivals. And also have a background data we are also monitoring in locations at working on metro cities on working and non-working days. Board has also carried out the noise mapping of major 27 municipal corporations of the state of Maharashtra. We have critically polluted area as a comprehensive environmental pollution index, and which 9 are from Maharashtra, and we have prepared the action plan, our implementation is in place. The sensor-based air quality monitoring is one of the new area which needs to be focused, and for a hotspot monitoring, board is also taken steps in this direction. The SODAR, the sound detection and ranging, which is for the atmospheric boundary layer. This is the first pollution control board in the country. We have set up the SODAR at Mumbai, and which is functioning and which is in the experimental mode. Also, various studies have been carried out for vertical dispersion of the pollutants using drones. Also undertaken study for the dispersion of air through the dispersion modeling in critically polluted areas of the state. See, in compared to the water quality monitoring, we have 250 monitoring stations, of which 200 are rivers and 50 is groundwater. Also, we have a state water monitoring program, of which 43 surface water is 28 and groundwater is 15. We have continuous online monitoring, water quality monitoring for a 17 highly polluting industrial category, and we calculate the water quality index, and which is hosted on the board website for a public. Next. See, plastic waste management. We have seized we have around 4.43 lakhs tons of plastic waste generated in state of Maharashtra, and this is a Maharashtra plastic and thermocol product rule. We have banned this product, and use of single plastic and thermocol atom for decoration is banned. Around 10 crores of fine has been collected from the shops and establishment. 1,400 tons of banned plastic has been seized, and nearly 415 plastic industries has been shut down. The hazardous waste. So number of units in hazardous waste is 7257 units. Hazardous waste generation during 1920 is landfillable hazardous waste is 7,14,880 metric ton. Incinerable is 2,99,802 metric ton. Recyclable is 8,29,389. Utilizable 11,62,987. So total hazardous waste treated and disposed at common hazardous waste facility is 3,53,284, and recyclable is 338,002 metric ton. We have 392 total recyclers and reprocessor, and in state of Maharashtra, we have 4 common hazardous waste treatment and disposal facilities, which is highest number in India. So e-waste, electronic waste is recently notified, and we have 462 e-waste producers, which includes manufacturer as well as bulk consumers. And we have in the state e-waste 90 dismantler, and e-waste recycler is 99. Total is 99. So biomedical waste management, we have 30 common waste biomaterial waste facilities, and all are incinerable waste facilities. So we have a total 30 facilities, 29 are incinerable waste, incineration waste. 1 is deep burial. Total beds are 20,231. Total number of non-beds is 34,742. Total number of hospitals covered is 63,000 odd, and total beds served by the common waste biomedical waste facility is 2,83,042, and daily disposal is 62.252 tons per day. E-governor response, we are the foremost board in e-response, and government has awarded the has lauded our efforts. We have auto consent renewal mechanism for red, orange, and green category of industry, and we introduce web portal mechanism. So we grant consent all the categories, 5 years for red categories at a stretch, 10 years for orange category, and 15 years for the white category industry. And we have online monitoring facilities for 17 critically polluting areas. So we have budgeted 25% of annual capital budget for the local body for urban environmental facilities like municipal solid waste and sewage treatment plants, policy for development of urban environmental infrastructure, policy of minimal environmental flow on the river, restoration of all local bodies, recycling of treated effluent in the infrastructure project, improvement in air quality in urban areas, and technology excellence cells and green chemistry cell. Our future plans is to install new 126 number of additional monitoring stations, 47 BEATS, continuous air quality, ambient air quality monitoring stations are in place, are in final stages of bidding, and 49 will be shortly will be bidding. We have a state-of-art air care center at our headquarters and regional offices. Next. We have done source study and emission inventory studies for 18 cities of National Clean Air Program, carrying out carrying capacity for critically polluted area, and implementation of National Clean Air Program. Next. This is one of the new program we have launched, is a commuter choice program. There is a Mumbai city is a more traffic congestion, so we are trying to introduce the various program for the transportation of the commuters, and with a staggered working hours, better mobility, carbon emission reduction, and congestion management. So this is now a new program we have launched recently. Next. So electric mobility is one of the now new policies we have selected, and MPCB is one of the nodal agency for the our policy of electric mobility. And as a model study, we have selected Pune and Nagpur for this need of electric mobility, but whole of the Maharashtra state will be moving on a electric mobility scenario. Next. So we have electric vehicle policy will be coming soon in 2021, and our emphasis is on 30% of the conversion of diesel vehicle and petrol vehicle in the state of Maharashtra by 2030. This is a very big now challenges ahead with the development of the new policy for electric vehicle. Thank you. Thank you. I'm in the time.
Yes, very much. Thank you, Dr. Motgare. Thank you very much for your for the overview of NPCB and especially the air pollution center and activities that you do. Thank you very much. And I think Osaka City is very much looking forward to work with NPCB and collaborate for many things. And we would look forward to interacting with you more and more in future. Thank you very much. And just for all the audience, in case you have any questions on the screen, you can, there is a Q&A box. So you can just put the questions for our speakers, for our presenters, and the Osaka City GEC, and from our side, we will pass on the questions to the speakers, and we will get you all the replies within a week. So please put in your questions in the question box, and we will receive them. May I now pass it on to Takahashi-san?
元彼様、バス様、ありがとうございました。
Dr. Motgare and Mr. Basu, thank you very much. So this concludes the first section about the environment. And as it was just explained, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box at the bottom. And we will try to, and as much as possible, please write who you're sending the question to. Please allow us 1 week so that we can send you the link to see the questions and answers. Section 2 about the port and logistics will start from 3:50. Mr. Basu, if you can introduce the first speaker for the keynote.
Yes, certainly. I mean, we are all looking forward to hear from Dr. Anbalagan, who is our keynote speaker today, and also the CEO of Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation. That is the nodal body, basically, wherein which welcomes all the companies from outside India, of course, creating and highlighting the opportunities here in Maharashtra. Of course, we are going to hear more and more from him today about the opportunities, but I must say that MIDC has been very much supportive, and we are very much thankful to MIDC that they have been very much, forthright in welcoming, all these kind of programs wherein they can highlight the opportunities in Maharashtra. So without much ado, I would like to now welcome Dr. P. Anbalagan and give his keynote on the opportunities here in Maharashtra state. Dr. Anbalagan.
Thank you, Anshuman, and good afternoon to all the friends joining from India and also from Osaka. I'll have a small presentation and followed by a film on Japanese industrial specific super industrial cluster. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, it is fine. Thank you.
We can see it.
Good afternoon once again. This I'll not dwell much upon because Mr. Sanjay, Sethi and our friends also has told. But only thing, one highlight I would like to mention, we have almost close to 1,500 Japanese companies are registered, and more than 5,000 business establishments are registered in India. They're more into trading, commercial operations, and other fintech business. As on this is 2018. And also Japanese ODA partner for India in supporting India's efforts for accelerated economic development. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, how best the Japanese business ecosystem in Maharashtra is also evident. The state ranks #1 in terms of attracting FDI from Japan, and highest number of Japanese business establishments are here, and also another 240 plus Japanese manufacturing companies are also in the state. And JETRO also has signed an MOU with NASCOM and also with Maharashtra State Innovation Society to identify financial and strategic investment opportunities. And Pune also of late started Konichiwa Pune Festival. It's more into joint effort by Indian counterpart and Indo-Japanese Business Council. It's normally held in Pune. It's also to promote business and other cultural exchange between the two countries. Where the state, it's everyone knows a powerhouse of the country, be it manufacturing, be it FDI, and one is subnational entity which is marching towards $1 trillion economy, and it has a highest number of technical institutes and also best quality workforce, where our employable workforce talent is at around 68%. It's highest in the country. And also for industrial output, almost we contribute almost 1/6 of the country's output and 1/3 of FDI inflows to the country. This is where the state gets phenomenally as a different distinction from other our brother and sister states. It's literally you can see it's a huge $40 billion total investment in transport infrastructure, but more than 30 plus number of mega projects are under development, where almost half of the population is impacted. Almost close to 40% of the population is impacted. The major is Navi Mumbai International Airport, Mumbai Trans Harbour Link, and also International Financial Center, and metro projects in Pune, Mumbai, Nagpur, and also in Nasik. And we have Maharashtra Samriddhi Mahamarg, which is a prosperity corridor, which is going to connect the eastern part of our state, Nagpur, winter capital, with Mumbai. And the state is also part of the prestigious Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, with one city already has been operational at Aurangabad, and another is coming up at a place called Dighi, which is just 1 hour 30 minutes drive from the new airport. And the Mumbai Coastal Road is also in a full swing. So quite it's going to handle almost more than 130,000 vehicles daily. Here, unlike other states, the Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation has a much benchmark level of functioning, because it provides one-stop solution, be it land, be it water, sewage treatment plants, common hazardous waste treatment plant, even solid waste facility and water supply. We run one of the largest water supply network in the country and also in, I would say, South Asia. And the state also is running a super Japanese investment zone, which is I would say 1 hour 25 minutes drive from Pune Airport. And the state runs quite close to 300 industrial complexes, where almost 2.5 lakh acres of land is being there for industrial development. The sector-specific parks are also there. We have an ITSZ, we have a textile parks, food parks, electronics park, floriculture, silver and wine park. This one slide will give where exactly the state stands. The lead sectors, we have almost 12 sectors where the state has a NIC for itself. I would say chemicals, again, a 17%, pharmaceuticals, 17% in export, again, that's a 20%, automobiles, again, another 20%, leather and footwear is in another area, toys, majority, almost one third, more than like half of the output is from the state, oil and natural gas, electronics, food processing, IT, ITS, textile and apparel, aerospace and defense, gems and jewelry. The state has a very dominant role in all the sectors, both hardcore manufacturing, allied, fintech, and also electronics, and also IT and ITS. To I would say keep the momentum and also to trigger the more like investments into the state. The state has also launched the Magnetic Maharashtra 2.0 reforms. Our Honorable Chief Minister has launched it in June 2020, which has a four major component. One is like a plug and play infrastructure, where some bigger companies coming. So for their vendors, captive vendors, the state takes mandate to provide them a modular spaces in a 100% competent, like I would say, compliance system, be it like environmental and other like statutory compliances. Second is like accelerated permission system, which is called as Mahaparvana in Marathi. So this is single window clearance for all FDA, any investment of 50 crores Indian rupees, and where the mandate, the LOA is granted within 48 hours, and subsequently all the approvals also comes within a period of 30 days. And this does not like deter them like from, I would say, prevent them from starting the pre-commencement, I would say pre-establishment and also pre-commencement operations. Third is like a Maha jobs. It's again like if it's literally translates like great jobs. Basically, it's a link between the employers and I would say skilled workforce. It's more like a dedicated web portal with a professional HR agencies operating. We have close to 3 lakh applicants and almost more than 2,500 employees have registered, and close to 40,000 jobs are also. The state has an umbrella policy which was like unveiled in 2019 March, and which is like which provides host of like incentives in the form of like investment promotion subsidy, which is majorly in the form of the state GST refund. And it is one of the few states, and it's the only one state which on record mentions that the incentives are given in state gross GST terms. And state also has a electricity duty waiver, and in some of the areas which are like upcoming areas, there is also concession in like electricity tariff. And of course, others like stamp duty exemption and other host of incentives are also there. And where in some of the places, the company can claim up to 100% of the fixed capital investment in the form of investment promotion subsidy spreading across between 7 to maybe 20 years, depending on their investment. And state also has a very sector-specific policies. For one, for aerospace and defense manufacturing policy, where the benchmark investment is less, and also IT policies in the final stage 2021. Which is going to be like an umbrella policy for all the IT and ITS, and the state is also coming up with the electronic and fab policy in a much more modified form. And the cabinet has recently approved, and the state was the first to announce a fintech policy, which is which has a more into like a developer oriented also, and also into like other incentives for the developers and also for the companies. And state also has a policy for EV electric vehicles, where the capital subsidy has also been for the 2 anchor units. And the state has food processing policy, and the only state which has a policy for like integrated logistic parks. And we have close to 200 logistic parks are coming up in areas of like Pune, Mumbai, Aurangabad, and Nagpur. Wherein like Nagpur, Aurangabad, these places, the dry port and inland container depot is also planned. They are also in the final stage of like commencement. So state also has like industrial integrated industrial area policy, where like private developers also can develop that. MADC is also like partnering with global players like Ascendas and other thing to develop IT parks and also industrial parks, and also with companies like Pegasus, Singapore-based companies, to develop an affordable housing and housing for like IT workers and other like workers. MADC to like cater to the huge demand from like various global players and also from domestic players. There's an expanding land bank. You can see there are like major 6 areas where like the state concentrates. One is like Mumbai, Thane, Raigad, which predominantly is like metropolitan region where like state has 15,000 acres and varied sectors are being catered. And everyone know from Japanese companies like Pune, Chakan, Talegaon, Satara, there again close to 8,000 acres we are having. And Talegaon electronics and engineering city is also coming up, and we are also going with like a electronic manufacturing cluster in Ranjangaon. It's again close to Pune, just 30 kilometers from Pune. And Nasik, Amanagar is also another area where like our Supa Japanese cluster is there. And we have an Aurangabad, which is like having a Arik, the city from part of the Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, where we have more than 8,000 acres. And Nagpur, Amravati, again, it's for aerospace, defense, engineering, textiles, and food processing. Again, we have around more than 4,000 acres of land. And this is like a dedicated Japanese industrial park with much. We have a like a Nimrana also. I visited in my earlier capacity as like a CEO of the State Pollution Control Board, and also before that as a joint MD of the same organization. But this industrial cluster is being planned much in a like a very I would say robust way with well connectivity. You can see like it's close to Pune by like just an hour and 20 minutes from airport. Aurangabad, Mumbai, they're all strategically located. Port also like strategically located. Railway connectivity is also there in Ahmednagar and also Pune. And this the first phase we are like developed 500 acres of the parcel, and we are also expanding another like more than 2,500 acres we are acquiring in that same part. Depending on the response, we can also expand. The industrial park has currently 2 million 2 MLD water availability, and by March 20 another month we'll have a 13 MLD of water, and we have a centralized water supply scheme of like 63 MLD is being running from Ahmednagar. Power is being taken care, and it's like up to like 33 kV switching substation also will be completed in another like I would say 4 to 5 months, and rest of the like road and street lights are all functional. This is a snapshot of like how the industrial park looks. It's absolutely like a flat land. There is almost, I would say, not even a 5 centimeter of a gradient difference here. So there are certain, this is like a snapshot of water treatment plant. And there are certain industries are already set up. Like we have a huge like Carrier and Midea, they have both the units, and we have a GMCC, we have a KSPG, and also Toshiba. Again, it's like not a Japanese company. It's their Midea's one of the like vendors. These are the major investors from Japan who are with us. I think I would request once again from our state and also from MADC to, I think, keep the faith and also continue the faith with the Japanese investors are having in our state. And we are there to assist you in all your endeavors, right from like identifying the land and also to get the joint venture partners. And also even we will coordinate for even the finance and other thing for MSMEs. That way the state and MADC is here to like assist you. Thank you. Now we'll have a small film on, I think Anshuman will have a small film on Super Industrial Cluster, where it's part of like Honorable Chief Minister and also our Minister for Industry has given some message for our overseas investors from Japan. It's a very short clip.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting presentation also. I saw it from your office. So I think it will be very interesting for the attendees. So maybe we can quickly, that 5-minute presentation, we can quickly play.
Yes, Anshuman. Thank you. We are starting with that, please.
Dr. Anbalagan, as an alternative, what we can also do is we can start with the next presenter, and we will show this presentation of yours at the end of the program. And of course, we are going to send it to all the participants also. And this is a very interesting presentation. I know that about the super thing. I think everybody will be interested in that, and it's a great informative program, video actually, to come and invest in Maharashtra. So if it is ready,
it's a nice and it gives what exactly and what are the like facilities and connectivity wise. It's a very like short film. Fair enough. I'm okay with that.
Okay, okay. So let's move with the next presenter. So thank you, Dr. Anbalagan. We are just going to, so if the video is ready, we are just going to play it in the next break.
Done. I think Gauri will be like in contact with you. I think you should be there.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Over to you, Takahashi-san.
次の登壇者に行ってよろしいでしょうか。
Okay, so can we move on to the next presenter, Basu-san?
Yes, we can move to the next presenter now.
はい。アンバラガン様、どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambaragan.
続きまして、当セミナー主催団体の
Next, from one of the organizers of this seminar today,
計画整備部振興課
Mr. Masami Saito, Manager for Port Promotion Department, Osaka Ports and Harbors Bureau, Osaka City. The title is Overview of Osaka Port Towards the Expansion of Trade in India and Osaka. I'm Saito of Osaka Port and Harbor Bureau. I'm going to give you an overview of Osaka Port and how we can expand trade between India and Japan. First, this is the outline of my talk today. First, I'd like to introduce our city of Osaka, the situation, and also waterfront development. There will be Osaka Kansai Expo in 2025, and also integrated resort, IR, that we are trying to attract here. Second, introduce the Osaka, Port of Osaka, and the advantages of the port, and there's some latest updates of the port. First, about Osaka. We are about 6,300 kilometers away from Mumbai. It takes about 18 days by container ship because it's approximately 11,000 kilometers and located in the center of Japan. And then the area region population is 20.484 million or 775 billion GDP. And Osaka's trade amount is about 7,800 billion yen. So this is a comparison of GDP between Japan and Osaka. Osaka and Mumbai is about the same. Osaka has world-famous appliance companies and pharmaceutical companies. I'm sure you've seen these logos in India as well. Later, our colleague from Konoike and the Saraya companies will present, and those companies have headquarters in Osaka, and they are contributing to Osaka's economic development. Well, this is the land use of Osaka Port, waterfront area. From north, we have Maishima, and to south, Yumeshima and Sakishima. These are all reclaimed land. Red is logistics area, and basically seawall and warehouses are there. And green areas are for tourism and interaction, so for cruise ship and other facilities for passengers located. Orange is urban area, their offices and houses. Light blue is manufacturing, basically their manufacturing plants and so on. So these functions are creating an integrated port functions. So we are zoning the area for different functions. And these are the waterfront facilities. The top three photos from left, baseball stadium, Universal Studios Japan, and aquarium, temples, and have a village attracts many visitors. On the left-hand side, we have an image picture of Osaka Kansai Expo, which will be held in Yumeshima in 2025. On the right-hand side, IR integrated resort, including casino facilities. On the west side of Yumeshima, there will be international tourism functions will be built. This is the Osaka Kansai Expo scheduled in 2025. Designing future society for our lives, that's the theme. Over 184 days, and there will be the advanced technologies, environmentally friendly technologies will be showcased. estimated number of visitors is 28.2 million people, which will boost economy. Now the roads and the railway network around Umeshima, the venue, are being reorganized. Next, about the port of Osaka. We marked 170th anniversary of 250th anniversary in 2017, and from JN Port representatives came. Chairman joined the ceremony. As Basu-san said at the beginning, in 2018 April, the Vice Mayor of Osaka visited Jawaharlal Nehru Port. And in the same year, I visited the port in November. I really appreciated the hospitality, warm hospitality by the JNPT people. And the Osaka Port Global Partnership Symposium was held in 2019, and the chairman Sethi participated in the ceremony, and the photo is in the middle and on the right-hand side. Again, outline of Osaka Port. Red area container terminals, there are 9 berths. Green is ferry terminals. International ferry terminal connected to Shanghai and Busan, and also 5 berths connecting to domestic ports. And 160,000 ton class cruise ship can come here, and we are now still improving the facility to be able to accommodate even larger boat. And the terminal building for passengers is going to be built. The renewed building will be ready in 2024. This is Osaka Port Container Service. Centering in Asia to North America and Australia, we are connected. On a monthly basis, as approximately there are 312 routes. In 2020, 2.11 million TEU containers were handled. Now, Osaka has extensive road network around the region. There are new roads that are opened, and there are maintained roads that will be ready soon. So it will be more convenient in terms of road infrastructure. Around Osaka Port, there are many large logistics warehouses. From 2003, in 17 years, there are 62 new warehouses are built. Trailers can access the floor directly. There are many rampway type warehouses being built recently. And there are more than 40 cold storage warehouses. Reefer containers come, and then food products are handled, and then low temperature truck will carry these products to processing facilities and also retail stores. And this is the container cargo volumes handled at the Port of Osaka. For the past 4 consecutive years, we exceeded 2 million TEU. In 2020, because of the COVID-19, the number went a little bit down, but with face masks and also disinfectants, import increased. So it was only minus 1% in the end throughout the year. And these are our strategies. From the left, collection of cargoes, domestic cargoes to Osaka Port. So we provide incentive and the port sales activities. In the middle, promotion of new business, new cargoes, creation of new cargoes. One example is we have seminars to promote agriculture and fishery products export to outside. And on the right-hand side is the strengthening of the competitiveness, expanding the container terminals, and also the road infrastructure surrounding the port to be improved. Lastly, the summary of what I just said. Osaka is the second largest city in Japan, and in the waterfront area, there will be World Expo and other world-class events awaiting. So there are many economic incentives and also stimulation of economy expected. And we have extensive port facilities, and route services plays an important role as an international logistic hub. So we will continue to improve the facility and promote the sales of Osaka port. So please consider using Osaka port. And we continue to partner with JN Port, and then increase the volume between the two ports so that we can contribute to the economic development of both regions. That's all from me. Thank you very much. If you need more detailed information about Osaka port, you can email me or you can come to our homepage. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
斉藤様、どうもありがとうございまし
Thank you
た。
very much, Mr. Saito.
先ほど
And earlier,
用意しておりましたビデオを
Thank
Dr.
you.
No,
Thank you
MIDC
very-
video, I think is
Yes, thank you very much, Saito-san. Your presentation was very crisp and to the point as always. Thank you very much for that. It was very informative. We missed the presentation of MIDC earlier. So it is a 5-minute presentation about the opportunities in Maharashtra, which I think will be very interesting for all the Japanese participants here. So may I request MIDC to play it immediately?
Welcome to Maharashtra, the most industrialized state of India, accounting for more than 30% of India's foreign direct investment. Seamless infrastructure and growing digitalization are amongst the key characteristics that keep Maharashtra ahead. Here, a prominent hotspot that is close to major industrial hubs of Pune, Ahmednagar, Mumbai and Aurangabad. Supa is your next global investment destination. Welcome to the growth corridor. This has led many industries to splendid success and rampant progress. This is a region Maharashtra, and for that matter India, is proud of. A fast developing industrial region that is an integral part of the Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation's futuristic expansion plan. This is Supa MIDC. It is spread over a total notified area of 934.34 hectares, out of which 572.71 hectares is in possession, and in this 180.66 hectares area has been reserved for the Japanese park. What makes Supa MIDC a preferred choice of renowned industrial giants from India and abroad? Why is this reserved Japanese investment zone the hub for immense growth opportunities? Excellent road, air, rail and port connectivity make Supa an ideal destination for industrial investments. International airports, national highways and ports are within a radius of about 150 kilometers from the Supa industrial area. Proximity to Auric, the Aurangabad industrial city on DMIC, the Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, is also a huge advantage.
I'm Sanjay Mahajan, Managing Director, Carrier Media India Private Limited. Carrier Media India Private Limited is a joint venture between Carrier and the Media Group. In India, we have the exclusive rights to manufacture and sell both Carrier brand and Media brand room air conditioners. Media Group has acquired 67 acres of land at Supa Industrial Area, Ahmednagar. We recognize the efforts of MIDC in providing with the necessary infrastructural requirements, and as we look towards the same support coming in.
Supa is linked with Maharashtra's robust industrial infrastructure designed for convenience of operations and consistent growth. This central spine road is wide enough for a quick commute as well as for rapid material transport. Internal 45-meter and 30-meter roads with rotaries at key junctions are also in place. A whopping 15 million litre per day water supply has been made available. A 33 kV switching substation with 6 outgoing 33 kV express non-express feeders has been completed. Needless to say, this super industrial hub is going to be a feather in the cap of Magnetic Maharashtra 2.0. Relationship managers and relationship executives have been appointed for all the investors as nodal points of contact to facilitate their entire investment journey from project conception to grounding. The social infrastructure of the super town is favorable in every respect for comfort and convenience. No wonder that renowned Indian and multinational industries have chosen Super MIDC for expansion and future investments. Super MIDC's collective annual turnover has reached phenomenal heights, and this hub is on the path of further expansion. Ready plug-and-play industrial blocks and suitable land parcels are available for ambitious entrepreneurs. So, what are you waiting for? Choose Super MIDC for your next big move and be a part of this ever-evolving success story. Mission Magnetic Maharashtra is all set to welcome you and provide all the necessary support. Choose Super. Choose sustainable growth. Choose astounding returns on investment.
Maharashtra is investment hotspot and ready with complete ecosystem in engineering, in research and human research development. We offer a range of support services in this area, and Maharashtra is the ideal spot for Japanese companies to invest. I welcome all the Japanese investors to look into Maharashtra's growing strength and participate with us. We'll be happy to partner with Japanese companies in near future. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I think thank you very much to the entire team of MIDC and also Dr. Ranbalagan to have shared this video and the entire other team also. So we, with your permission, will certainly would like to share this video and your presentation about MIDC with our Japanese audience and the companies which participated today, so that they get to know more about it in details, as well as in their next visit to Maharashtra, they would like to explore such opportunities in Super. So thank you once again.
それでは、
Now,
次の講演に参ります。
let's invite the next presenter.
におけるコールドチェーンのビジョン。失礼いたしました。日本食材の
Efforts for high quality processing of Japanese ingredients by Mr. Hideo Nishikawa, General Manager of Kansai Chuo Branch, number 3 Business Department, Konoike Transport. Namaste to everyone in India and konnichiwa for everyone in Japan. My name is Nishikawa from Konoike Transport. Today, I'm going to talk about the high-quality frozen Japanese food. Our company, Konoike, as you can see on this slide, we have annual turnover of 310 billion, 25,000 employees, and we have general transportation business. By saying general transportation business, we are not only specified in transportation logistics. Actually, 70% of the business comes from the contract business of the customers. And we also have domestic logistics and international logistics, which comprises 15% each. Konoike was established in 1880, and since then, we've been trying to answer the needs of the customers as well as the society. This picture shows the group picture of the company back in 1818. So these pictures on this slide show some of the examples of business activities. You can imagine how diversified we are in our business operations. And our companies, sometimes people feel like you move to a different company by moving to a different department. And as a result, we've been able to cultivate a very diverse workforce. And one of the new initiatives is the high quality food processing of Japanese food. And I want to talk about this. And this slide talks about the social mission. The first, we want to provide smiles to every table with delicious and safe food. And number two, we want to improve the state of frozen food, which can be preserved for a long time, and we want to reduce the food loss and protect the richness of the sea. Number three, we want to revitalize the local communities by communicating the beauty of Japanese food. And this is a food processing plant based in the center of Osaka, in Kizu Market, which has 300 years of history. And we started the food processing from April 2019, mainly fish product. And some of our unique strengths, first and foremost, our purchasing manager has been engaged in the fish purchasing business for many years, and we only use well-selected fresh fish. And number two, by using hybrid ice, which is a unique rapid freezing technology, we can lock in the flavor of the fish. The former first-class hotel chef and also an embassy chef, we work with him so that you can enjoy the taste made by the ambassador's resident chef. And lastly, we have a hygiene management conducted by sanitation experts by providing so that we can provide safe and secured food. Hybrid ice is compared to the air cool or alcohol cool. We have a much faster and quicker freezing method. We introduce this ahead of the competitors so that we can provide the delicious food to the table. And it was covered by the media such as TV programs and newspaper. And this is a brand. Uosho Ebisu is the name of the store. And Japanese food is under the brand of Uo Ebisu, and the Western food is under the brand of Osakana Kuchina. Both brands basically want to provide a little luxury at home. The main target is people in their 30s and 40s who want to pair these dishes with the alcohol drinks. So Japanese food series, Uo Ebisu, is a very good company for Japanese sake, and Osakana Kuchina Western food goes very well with white wine. The origin of Uosho Ebisu, our store, is Osaka used to be called Naniwa, which can mean the garden of fish, and this name suggests Osaka has been blessed with plenty of fish. We also have Imamiya Ebi Shrine in our neighborhood, which is the god of fishing and commerce. And every year, a lot of businessmen come visit this shrine and wishing for the success of their business. We hope that we can provide delicious, safe, and secure processed food to the world. And this is under Uo Ebisu Japanese food brand. Our chefs provide the beauty and deliciousness of Japanese food. I hope that you can enjoy these fish dishes with sake in your hand as a company. The package is using the royal blue, giving you a sense of Japanese color. And you can keep this frozen, so when you have a sudden guest, you can just boil it in hot water and prepare a very delicious meal. The next brand is the Western dish brand, Osaka Cucina. This brand is also developed by the chef, and we want to deliver the delicious Italian flavor to our customers. And I hope you can enjoy them with white wine. This package uses red as a color. These products we also have a set or assortment. So if you want to send them as a gift for your loved ones or friends. And this is also a great gift for anniversaries, and we can prepare special message cards. We also cater to the needs of hotels and restaurants. And we also provide OEM products. Because of the pandemic, a lot of restaurants and hotels are struggling. But this industry has been suffering from the shortage of labor, and they had the food loss issues. And by using our products, and then we can take care of the processing, they can reduce the labor, and they can also reduce the food loss. And we can also custom make the flavor based on the needs of the customers. We hope once the COVID is gone, then when people can travel, we can help prepare the environment where people can enjoy delicious meals. And I think there will be a growing demand for that. So as I explained earlier, these are used in hotels, restaurants, and cafes, but also used in childcare, hospitals, and elderly care facilities. And our product received Mond Selection Award in 2020. So here's a summary of the benefit of the product: easy, reassuring, clean, hygiene, and we can reduce the food loss. So these are the 4 major benefits. Through this business, we hope that we can contribute to the world. With Uosho Ebisu, we want to provide the fresh food to everyone in the world and bring the smiles to their table. And we believe that we can also help achieve SDGs by reducing the food loss and eliminate hunger in the world. And with the advancement of the cold chain, with the freezing technology, we want to establish the cold chain around the world. These are not easy, but continuing on these efforts, we believe that we can create a society where everybody can be happy and sustainable. In closing, this is the information about Uosho Ebisu. If you want to place an order for Uo Ebisu or Osaka Cucina, please search uoshoebisu.com. And here's the URL. And if you have any questions about OEM or other interests, please contact us by email or by phone. And we also have Twitter and Instagram accounts, so please follow us. This business is still new. It's only 6 months. And we are not, we are struggling in a sense, but the whole company and the employees are very excited about this. So we look forward to your business. This concludes my slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nishikawa, Mr. Nishikawa. Next, the 4th presentation, cold chain vision in India, hygienic and a delicious food to the table. Mr. Kotaro Omiya, Section Head, Sales and Marketing Department, Global Kanto Business Department, Global Operation Division of Saraya, please. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Omiya of Saraya Company Overseas Division. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and coming here out of a busy schedule. So I will do a company's presentation. Can you see the slide? Can you see the screen? Yes. Okay, let me start. So today, the meaning or value of cold chain and what's the key importance in establishing cold chain. That's what I'm going to cover today. The content of the presentation. Firstly, I would like to introduce to you our company and our base in India, and the reason why we are doing cold chain and our products and services that we offer. Then, actual case studies of cold chain, one example, examples in Japan and in Cambodia. And finally, to establish a cold chain, we have a vision, so I'll explain that too. First, let me explain our company. We were established in 1952 in Osaka, Japan. Well, basically, we make hygiene products such as hand soap and a disinfectant, and we have a very high market share in disinfectant. So wherever hygiene is needed, that's our market. The UN set SDGs, so we set the SDGs as the core of our business direction, especially. Well, cold chain is our business and at the same time our means to achieve SDGs. So I'll explain that in the next two slides. But before that, let me explain our India business. We went to India, but in order to increase our revenue, we acquired Mistia company. And that's basically manufacturing hygiene products such as paper towel. The head office is in Manesar, near New Delhi, and there are 3 factories and 8 sales offices in the country. So from here on, now I will start talking about cold chain. As I said before, cold chain is a business and also a means to achieve SDGs. There are really many food-related challenges, and this slide just represents some of them. Especially, we want to reduce food loss and food poisoning, and also we focus on old-fashioned food processing and want to resolve these challenges by cold chain. By providing solutions to these problems, we can help the world achieve SDGs. To establish a cold chain, you need hardware such as facilities and equipment, and at the same time, you need know-how and advice. So without equipment, of course, you can't have a cold chain, but at the same time, even if you have the facilities and equipment, if you do not have sufficient know-how and knowledge how to use it, it's not going to function as designed, as intended. Next slide. So the equipment and also the know-how side we provide in Japan. First of all, advice and consultation about cold chain that we provide. The starting point of cold chain is producers of vegetables or fish and so on, and also food processors. The first step of establishing cold chain is we listen to the challenges that food producers and processors have, and then explain the benefits of cold chain. So we listen to what they have to say, their challenges that they're faced with, things like food loss and food poisoning, and how to do a new ways of processing of food. So technologies or know-how to hygienically process food and also providing clean and hygiene environment for these businesses will be beneficial. This is what we do, a consultation service in Japan. When we actually go and propose ideas to customers, they say we get a lot of good feedback that they were able to reduce food loss and food poisoning was reduced and so on. So there are many hygiene equipment, and now that's the hardware side, and then the next is more knowledge side. Okay, so this is the hardware side. So cold chain is about delivering food products as freshly as possible and as delicious as possible. We have disinfectant sanitizers machines to disinfect the cutleries and tools, and also rapid freezer, and also smart sand. These are just a hand soap for food processing or food making facilities. So these are the three categories we support cold chain with. Well, the red box in the middle, rapid freezer, is of course the key for the cold chain. This machine protects and keeps the food products fresh and hygienic. So the next slide, I'll explain this machine. I will show you a video. This rapid freezer, we call this rapid freezer. Ethanol is cooled down to minus 30 degrees Celsius, and then put a vacuum packed food materials in it. And depending on the size of the material, within 30 minutes, normally all the food is completely frozen. So this is a jelly, and then we put it in rapid freezer, and what happens? So it's the purple jelly, and it becomes frozen and it turns white very quickly. So now it's in room temperature. Now put it in minus 30 degrees alcohol. So I think you start to see that the purple is now turning white, and this is because it's freezing. So in the normal refrigerator, it takes several hours, but if you use rapid freezer, in 1 minute, things get frozen completely. If you take a long time in freezing things, then the crystals of ice will damage the food material and reduces the flavor. But if you freeze quickly, then the ice crystals do not grow, so it does less damage, much less damage to the food. And that's the biggest benefit of this rapid freezer. Now, 1 minute, as you can see, it's completely frozen now. So it's just a very simple example, but I think you can see how this rapid freezer can actually really rapidly freeze food. Now I have two case studies of cold chain. First is an example of Japan. In Osaka, there's a company called Kuri. They buy fish and then process fish meat and then sell. So they use rapid freezer and also soap to process fish fresh and delicious, keep them fresh and delicious. With rapid freezing option, then they are able to now sell their products on online store, and they have other channels that they can access to with the rapid freezing. Okay, so one case study I want to introduce is that so this company called Kuri, they are processing fish and selling them on the internet. It's called fish called kue, and this fish is very delicious. So I recommend that you buy and try. So that's one example from Japan. The other example I'd like to introduce to you is a case from Cambodia. In the capital city, Phnom Penh, there is a company called Cambodia Fresh Farm. And they farm fish called tilapia fish. So tilapia fish, for Cambodian people, they often see tilapia, and there's a really common fish in lakes and rivers. They dry or smoke or stir fry these fish to eat. So by rapid freezing these fish, now they're able to eat them raw. So rapid frozen tilapias are used in Cambodia's 5-star restaurants and also major retail chains. With the rapid freezing option, they were able to expand their sales channels. Okay, so in the interest of time, this will be my final slide. Lastly, in order to establish a cold chain, these are the things that we think to be the most important. We re-entered Indian market just last year. So we do not have a full-scale cold chain business in India yet, unfortunately. But in order to establish a cold chain, we need partners to work together. We definitely need partners to work together. No matter how good our products may be, our soap may be, and our freezer may be, we need a cooperation from producers, and we need help from logistics companies, transporters, and also food processors, and also retail companies, retail stores. Without partnership with these entities, we will not be able to establish a cold chain. If we can establish a good cold chain in India, then the rich and diverse Indian food will be able to export to all the people in the world. For us, our Indian business is still very new, only just started. Will take still a long time to establish a cold chain finally, but we hope that we'll be able to replicate our success in India and other parts of Japan. Thank you very much. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
大宮様、どうもありがとうございました。
Thank you for the presentation. It was Mr. Omiya.
次の登壇者のご紹介に
The,
する前に、
before we introduce the next speaker,
先ほど中断しました MIDC 様
now
の
the video from MIDC is ready to be shared.
I think we can go to the next speaker because I think MIDC is still having some issues with the audio. So maybe we should go ahead with the next speaker. The next speaker is from Farmico, Mr. Siddharth Nautiyal. That's a company based out of Maharashtra. And it's called Farmico Cold Chain and Logistics. So we'll just go to him for his presentation. But before that, I would certainly like to thank Mr. Umiya for his fantastic presentation. We would certainly like that kind of technology here. And I would also like to thank Mr. Nishikawa. He also spoke about this Osaka Cucina. So I think that's very interesting. We should certainly have that here in India. And we look forward to all these things very soon in India. And we look forward to welcoming you also here in India. I'll certainly forward you the details about MIDC, which you can go through and check how you can probably get involved here. So now we'll go to the next speaker, like I said, Mr. Siddharth Nautiyal. He's from Farmico Cold Chain and Logistics, which is based out of Maharashtra in the city, near the city of Nagpur. So over to you, Mr. Nautiyal.
Hello, yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And as Mr. Kotaro Omias told about the freezing technology and his work in India as a Saraya Company Limited. So we are also like into cold chain network and processing, food processing, especially the frozen vegetables. So we are there like in industry since like 10 years, and we are into frozen food and vegetables. So I'll just share the screen. So we are Farmico Cold Chain and Logistic Limited, and we mostly do all kind of frozen fruits and vegetables. And we are based in Nagpur, Maharashtra, which is the uppermost part of Maharashtra, and which joins the central of India. It's a central point of India. So right now we are producing all kind of like frozen fruits and vegetables. As you can see, like all kind of like French fries, legumes, spinach, sweet corn, peas. Then if we come to Indian market scenario, like we are new into frozen food business, but still we have the value for around 74 billion in 2018. And we see the growth of like about 188 billion by 2024. So the compound annual growth rate is around like 17%. So it's a very good opportunity for cold chain network, cold chain management, and processing of frozen vegetables, and finally finished product. If you say like about Maharashtra cold chain network, it's a centralized location as per Indian geography, and it's one of the most developed state in India. And we have like we are producing almost all kind of frozen fruits and vegetable. And there are lots of initiative by government of Maharashtra, such as like MIDC, special economic zones, and lots of facility, like especially MIDC. So as we are like Farmigo cold chain network, we are utilizing all these kind of facility, starting from like special economic zone where we have our processing unit, and then going toward the cold chain network from Nagpur to MIDC in Maharashtra, where we store our finished product, and slowly we export it to other countries. Now, if we say like at this moment, like there is a great need of frozen food products for Indian market, and we are lacking like in many points. There is a supply chain management, cold chain network, which is missing in Indian scenario. Our government is continuously trying to improve it, but as we see like our counterpart like Japan, USA, and other countries, they are doing far more better than us. If we say about key player in domestic competition, then there are McCain's, Venky's, Mother Dairy, Godrej, Tyson Limited. Then there are domestic distribution. Then we are like as per as we say like Farmico, we are doing contract manufacturing. Then we are doing indirect distribution, direct distribution, intensive distribution. And if we see the world map for frozen fruits and vegetables, so the countries which are mostly importing our frozen vegetable or fruits, it comes in Middle East or USA, and emerging markets such as Australia and Japan. And there is a like a great opportunity index. It's about like India have the opportunity index for about 38.58 million. So total, if we say like if we go like the demand and supply gap is 6,830 million. the opportunity index is about 177.6. And if we talk about Japan, like if we see Japan, so we are just we are just exporting 0.01% to Japan. So we have 99.9% of opportunity to export our frozen food products to Japan. But for this, we need those facility where we can make those products according to the standards and hygiene as per Japan. So for this, we need like support from you. So same with the USA, Japan, all the developed country. If we say Germany, we are not exporting at all. So we need something like which can enhance our frozen food business, and we can export to these countries. Then the focus market, like for India right now, USA, and Japan is coming about like 7 to 8 number. So Japan is definitely in our best category to export our frozen fruits and vegetables.
Thank you, Siddharth. I mean, your presentation is over.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes the section 2. It was about the ports. Mr. Basu, do you have any closing comments for section 2?
Okay, closing comments. Well, it was very nice to see actually one of the things that we observed, that we expected a total of 100 people for this particular seminar, and mostly, of course, from India. But surprisingly, and I mean, it was a very good thing to know from our side that we had more than 100 people itself from Japan who participated in this particular webinar throughout the day. This short webinar actually which we created, there were about, I mean, at one point of time, we could see that there were about 135 people, but most of them from Japan, which was really very welcoming for us. So I think, and most of them are still staying there with us for this webinar. I definitely would like to thank all of them, all the participants. But more than that, certainly to all the speakers from Japan who made the fantastic presentations, we would like to invite them to India, particularly to Maharashtra, to come and explore the opportunities here. And of course, I would like to thank all our guests from India also who made the opening remarks and the presentations. Thank you.
マスさん、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Basu-san. If you have any questions, please utilize the Q&A function of the system. Please indicate what your question, who your question is directed to as much as possible. Within about 1 week, we are going to send you a URL, and if you click on it, you can come to a web page where all the questions and answers are listed. That brings us to the end of this webinar. Thank you very much for all the participants and speakers. Lastly, representing our organizer,
ご挨拶を申し上げます。
Toshimitsu Tanaka is going to give you the closing remark. Well, I would like to thank everyone for attending. My name is Tanaka from Osaka City Port and Harbor Bureau. I'm honored to give you the closing remarks. First of all, thank you very much for high attendance today. Mr. Basu said 100 on Indian side and Japan side. But since I'm a Japanese, I want to be meticulous as well. So 170 people applied for this event, both from India and Japan. And I think this has been a very successful day. So I'm very pleased that we've been able to host this first webinar successfully, although the event was online due to COVID-19 pandemic. And because we had some technical glitches, but I think it went overall, it was very successful. So I want to thank everyone. And this webinar was not possible without the general support from India, so I'd like to recognize them. First, Chairman Sanjay Sethi from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. Actually, Chairman Sethi came to Osaka in November 2019 for the Sister Port Conference, and he's very close to our hearts at the Port Bureau of Osaka. Next, I would also like to thank Mr. Sudhir Shrivastava, Chairman of Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, and Dr. Ambalagan, CEO of Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation, and Mr. Basu, Director from SEM Programs. I met Basu-san in Osaka. In Mumbai, I went to visit him with the deputy mayor back then. So I had several meetings with Basu-san both in Osaka and Mumbai, and he's been such an important bridge between not just Osaka and Mumbai, but also in business between India and Japan. I would like to offer my sincere appreciation for all the supporters. As you may know, Osaka City, together with the prefecture, the national government, and the business circle, is working toward hosting the 2025 World Exposition. With expected, well, as it was shown in the video by MIDC, and it was 900 hectares, but the size will be 390 hectares on Yumeshima, which is a reclaimed island. And with expected 28 million visitors over a period of 6 months, Osaka and Kansai are working hard for this next major event in Japan following the Tokyo Olympics. And just to give you an idea, 185 billion yen is allocated as the budget for the expo alone, and 100 billion yen is earmarked for the infrastructure. So a total of 290 billion yen of direct investment, almost 300 billion yen of direct investment will be made in Yumeshima in the next 5 to 6 years. So that means that since this is a giant project, we hope that there is a lot of ripple effect on the economy, and I hope people in India will keep watching our progress, and this is going to be a great business opportunity. So according to the research by JBIC, or Japan Bank for International Cooperation, India is one of the hottest potential investment markets for Japanese companies. As such, many people must have attended today's webinar with high interest. And today, government agency and private companies from both India and Japan have presented the latest information, advanced technology and products with regard to the environment, as well as ports and harbors. And I hope this seminar has been productive and informative for you. Well, import exceeds export at the Port of Osaka, and we hope to see an increase of export in the future. And I hope today's webinar will be a trigger to increase export from Port of Osaka to South Asia, especially India. Although we have some strong tie with Southeast Asia, we hope to support this kind of events in the future to exchange the latest information and create business opportunities in India and Japan so that two countries can prosper together in the economy as well as industry. I will close my speech by wishing you further development and success. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was Mr. Tanaka. So with this, we would like to close today's program. I would like to thank everyone for your attendance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanaka. Thank you very much for your closing comments. And now with that, we have concluded our program today. So we would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation and to all the speakers and guests and attendees. And so now you can leave this webinar by pressing the leave button on your screen. Thank you and goodbye.